You've probably stood at a baggage carousel before, watching the same empty patch of conveyor belt circle around and around, wondering if your suitcase has taken a completely different flight without you. But what if I told you that baggage claim is one of the most misunderstood, underestimated, and quietly risky parts of modern air travel? Most travelers think all the danger, inconvenience, and scams happen before security or during the flight. But the truth is, the moment you step off that plane and walk toward baggage claim, you've entered one of the most unregulated zones in the entire airport. And for people who don't know how things work behind the scenes, this is where mistakes, scams, and losses happen more often than anywhere else. Because here's the thing, airports look organized, they look structured. But baggage claim, it's one of the few places where almost anyone can walk in. No boarding pass required, no ID required, no security screening. And that means the person standing next to you waiting for a black Samsonite suitcase might not even be a traveler. They might be waiting for yours, and you wouldn't know until it was too late. But this video isn't about scaring you. It's about preparing you. Because most travelers don't realize how many small, simple things they can do to completely change their airport experience, not just at baggage claim, but from the moment they check in to the moment they walk out the airport doors. Some of these tips are simple, some are game-changing, and some you will hear and think, how did no one ever tell me this? But let's start with baggage claim, because this is the heart of today's video. Everything else branches from it. When you get off a long flight, your brain is tired. You're dehydrated. You just want to see your bag, grab it, and leave. That's exactly why scammers love this location. You are distracted. You are impatient. And you assume everyone around you has the same intentions as you. Most of the time, they do. But the few who don't can take advantage of that moment when your guard is the lowest. Let me start with something simple. Bag lookalikes. You wouldn't believe how many people lose their luggage not because it gets stolen, but because someone genuinely grabs the wrong one. About 60% of lost bag reports in baggage claim end up being accidental swaps. And the worst part, the moment that person leaves the airport, your bag stops being the airport's responsibility. Now it becomes your responsibility to track down a complete stranger who might be halfway home. Most bags are black, most are the same shape, most have the same generic tags. So if you want to save yourself hours of panic and paperwork, do something very easy. Make your bag loud. Add a bright strap, a neon tag, a custom ribbon. Anything that stands out so you can spot your bag instantly, and just as important, so no one else mistakes it for theirs. But now let's talk about the actual scams. Here's a big one almost no one talks about: the claim it fast scam. Scammers know that people get excited when they see luggage coming down the belt. They know you're rushing forward. They know you're focused on the carousel, not the people behind you, so they blend in. They hover nearby. And the moment someone pulls a bag off the belt and sets it down for a second, maybe to adjust their grip, maybe to put their phone away, maybe to check the tag, that scammer swoops in, grabs the bag, and disappears into the crowd. By the time you realize what happened, they're gone. That's why rule number 1 is this: never set your bag down in baggage claim, not even for 5 seconds. But that's nothing compared to one of the newest scams, one that airport staff hate talking about because it makes the airport look bad. I call it carousel shopping. It sounds funny, but it's not. It's when someone walks into baggage claim with no ticket, no flight, nothing. They simply stand at the carousel, watch bags come out, and pick the nicest one. If you think that sounds unrealistic, understand this. Most airports do not have security checking whether the person leaving baggage claim actually came off a flight. Most don't even have staff near the exit. Once someone has your suitcase in their hand, they look like every other traveler. No one stops them. That's why another major tip is simple: stand as close to the chute as you can. The moment your bag appears, grab it immediately. Don't wait. Don't stand back. Don't let it circle around. The longer it's on the belt unattended, the higher the risk. But scams are only one part of baggage claim. There's also the hidden rules that airlines don't tell you, the ones that can save you money, stress, or even get your bag delivered to your home for free. Here's one hardly anyone knows. If your bag doesn't arrive within a certain time window, usually around 30 to 45 minutes, you can request compensation. But airlines won't tell you that. You have to know to ask. And if your bag is delayed, even by a few hours, you can often get reimbursed for basic essentials like clothes, toiletries, and chargers. The key is to keep your receipts and file the claim properly. And if the airline loses your bag completely, they owe you money. They won't offer it automatically, but the law requires them to compensate you for the value of the items inside. The mistake people make is not having a list. They try to remember everything after the bag is already missing. You don't need a complicated list, just a simple note in your phone of what you packed. That alone can save you hundreds. But here's where we shift gears, because this video is not only about baggage claim. It's about the entire travel process and the things airlines don't want you to know. Because the more you know, the less money they make from mistakes, fees, and inconvenience. Let's talk about boarding, for example. Most people rush to board early because they think it's safer or more convenient. But boarding early actually puts you at more risk of losing legroom, having overhead bin stress, and sitting on the plane longer than necessary. Airlines want you to board early because it keeps the gate area clear and makes the process look efficient. But unless you have a specific seat need, boarding later is often better. You sit down, the chaos has settled, and you know exactly where the empty pockets of overhead space are. But boarding late ties into baggage claim too, because passengers who board last are often forced to check their carry-on bags at the gate. And guess where those bags end up? Baggage claim. Even if you didn't intend for them to, which means more waiting, more risk, and more chances for problems. So here's a tip: always board when your zone is called. Not too early, not too late. That timing is designed around luggage space, not passenger comfort. Now let's jump to something most travelers never think about: the walk from the plane to baggage claim. This is a critical moment. People walk slowly. They stop in the middle of the corridor. They pull out their phones, all while the first wave of bags is already on the belt. The people who walk with purpose, without stopping, almost always get their bags first. And here's a secret: the bags from your flight don't come out in first loaded, first off. They come out in sections. The bags that get placed near the front of the luggage cart usually come out first, and those bags tend to be the ones loaded last. Which means if you check in last, your bag often comes out first. It's not guaranteed, but it's surprisingly common. But here's something more important: always take a quick photo of your suitcase before checking it. Front, side, and the tag. Why? Because if the airline loses your bag, the first thing they'll ask is, "What does it look like?" And saying black suitcase is the fastest way to get nowhere. A photo turns their search from guesswork into an actual match. Now let's talk about what happens after you grab your bag, because scammers know that travelers relax too quickly. They think, okay, I have my stuff, I'm safe. But this is when distraction tricks happen. Someone might bump into you accidentally. Someone might distract you with a question. Someone might walk out behind you to see which taxi you choose. This is exactly why most experienced travelers follow the same rule. Once you collect your bag, walk with intent until you reach a secure, well-lit public area. Don't stop near doors. Don't stop near traffic flow. Don't stop near crowds that are not moving. But let's go deeper into the travel knowledge airlines don't want you to have. For example, you know those scales at check-in? Most of them are intentionally calibrated in the airline's favor. Not by a lot, just enough that a 44-pound bag might show 46 pounds. And that's how airlines push people into overweight fees. The solution is simple. Use your own luggage scale at home and give yourself a 2-pound buffer. That alone saves people hundreds every year. Another mystery most travelers don't know is about airport seating. Did you know that the seats without armrests aren't placed randomly? They're positioned in spots where the airport wants people to rest but not gather. The more comfortable seats, the ones near windows, against walls, are usually placed far away from food courts and major routes. That's why they're always empty. Airports design traffic intentionally. Now let's talk about bathrooms. This sounds trivial, but it's one of the easiest travel hacks ever. The first bathroom after security is always the busiest. The second one is slightly better. But the third bathroom, It's nearly empty. Clean, quiet, and barely used. This applies in every airport I've ever seen. If you want to avoid lines and actually wash your hands without feeling rushed, skip the first bathroom every time. Speaking of lines, let me teach you something most people never think about. When choosing a line, security, check-in, passport control, never choose the line with the fewest people. Choose the line with the fewest families. Families take the longest. Solo travelers take the shortest. And older travelers almost always have their documents ready. This trick alone can save you up to 15 minutes every single time. Now back to baggage claim. Once your bag arrives, look at the tag immediately. Make sure it's yours. And most importantly, check if it has any damage. Any scratch, crack, or tear should be reported before you leave the airport. Once you step outside, the airline can deny your claim. This is why seasoned travelers check their bag thoroughly, zippers, wheels, handles before leaving. But here's another thing. If your bag is damaged, airlines often offer two options, repair or replacement. What they don't tell you is, you can request reimbursement instead. You can buy your own replacement and get refunded, but you have to ask. Now, a huge tip for your personal safety. Never open your bag in the airport. Not on the floor. Not on a bench. Not near the exit. That is the #1 way people get distracted and lose items. If you need something from your suitcase, wait until you're in a private space. Even better, always pack your essentials in your carry-on so you never need to open your checked bag until you're settled at your hotel. And here's one more scam related to baggage claim. Fake taxi drivers. They wait at the exit and look for tired, confused travelers with luggage. They offer rides that cost 2, 3, sometimes even 5 times more than the official rate. If you want to avoid this, follow the airport signage to the official taxi area. Never go with someone who approaches you first. Now let's switch gears again and talk about long flights. Because many of the mistakes people make on long flights end up affecting their baggage claim experience too. For example, hydration. Airplane cabins are extremely dry. You lose moisture without realizing it. That makes your brain foggy, makes you move slower, makes you react slower, and makes you more vulnerable to mistakes in the airport. The solution is simple. Drink water every hour. Even a few sips makes a massive difference. Movement is another big thing. Sitting for 10, 12, 15 hours makes your legs stiff. And then when you get off the plane, you walk slower. And walking slower means you reach baggage claim later. And reaching later means your bag is more vulnerable to theft or being mistaken. People don't realize how everything in travel connects. Let's talk about one more thing, connecting flights. If you have a tight connection, your bag might not make it even if you do. But here's the trick. If the airline is responsible for the delay, they must deliver your bag to your home or hotel for free. You don't need to return to the airport. Most travelers don't know this. They wait hours. They come back the next day. But they don't have to. Here's something else airlines don't talk about: priority tags. A priority tag on your bag doesn't always mean it comes out first. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it gets stuck at the bottom of the cart. Sometimes the baggage crew ignores it, so don't rely on it too heavily. The best way to get your bag early is actually to check in last. Now let's talk about how to protect your bag from being tampered with. One trick is simple: use a luggage strap. Not because it prevents theft, it doesn't, but because if someone opens your bag, they have to remove the strap, and that takes time. Scammers want fast. Anything that slows them down is protection. Another trick, take a photo of your baggage receipt tag. If you lose the physical tag, that photo becomes proof of ownership. Without it, things get complicated very quickly. Let's talk about carousels themselves. Not all are the same. Some spin fast. Some spin slow. Some have blind corners. If you want to reduce the chance of losing sight of your bag, stand where the belt first becomes visible. That way, you see every bag as soon as it appears. Don't stand at the end of the belt. By then, the bags have passed hundreds of hands and eyes. Now let's move into the final stretch of this video, mindset. Because the way you think in airports affects everything. The most successful travelers, the ones who never miss flights, never lose bags, and never fall for scams, have one thing in common: they move with intention. They don't rush, but they don't hesitate. They don't wander. They know where they're going. They stay alert. They make decisions quickly. And that mindset protects them more than any trick or hack. Airports are designed to confuse you, designed to overwhelm you, designed to make you pay extra for convenience. But once you understand how everything works behind the scenes, you stop being the traveler airlines and scammers expect, and you become the traveler they don't want you to be. Let me leave you with this. The next time you stand at a baggage carousel, don't just wait. Observe. Look at how people behave. Look at who grabs bags immediately and who waits. Look at who stands too far back. Look at who is distracted. Look at how easy it would be for someone to walk off with the wrong suitcase. You'll start to see what I'm talking about. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Travel doesn't have to be stressful. Airports don't have to feel overwhelming. Most of the problems people face are preventable with the right knowledge. And now, you have it. So the next time you fly, remember this video. And when you're standing at baggage claim, watching the carousel spin, you'll know exactly what to do, what to avoid, and how to keep your belongings and yourself safe. Because in the end, airports are just systems. Once you understand the system, you can move through it smoothly, confidently, and without fear. Safe travels.